So next thing is comparing these two. So for comparison, I'm going to take if statement. So I'm going to start an if saying if my condition will be inside a bracket. So right now my condition is num1 is greater than num2. This is what I am saying. Now in the sample code I may have used less than, but relevant code will be given there. Don't worry about that. You can mess with the order, no problem. But you have to consider what the output is always. Don't mess with the output. So right here, num1 is greater than num2. So then I'm like begin. And I have to write, if this is correct, I have to write ln inside the bracket. I have to say this value, num1 value. So I'm going to take the value of num1, comma, I have a small text part, so inside quotes I have to say greater than, comma, num2. Understood the full thing? What's happening right here? So I'm saying when number 1 is greater than number 2, say num1 is greater than num2. This prompt will be given. So clear and crystal clear in the output, the user will see, let's say he's put in some value, something like 50 and 20. So first number is 50, second number is 20. That satisfies this condition. So this would say 50 greater than 20, something like this. 50 greater than 20. Perfect, isn't it? Right? So you have to end this code with end, but we are not finished yet. So you are taking else without keeping the semicolon. So right here you are taking another if. So I'm going to take it right here with a space, and I'm going to take a second condition. My second condition is, you can say num1 less than num2, no problem. Or else you can say the same thing like num2 greater than num1, that's also correct. Okay, so you can say then I'm going to say the user with a begin, write ln inside the bracket. I'm going to say take the value of num1, and I have something in string type, but this time it's not greater than, it's going to be less than num2. End of the code. And now we are not done yet, because the first number can be less than the second number, the first number can be greater than the second number. There is another option, the first number can be equals to second number. So if all these conditions, like this condition and this condition, if both goes false, which means these two guys are equal, so you can keep it as a default. So you're like else begin. So you're saying by default write ln num1, comma, inside quotes equals, comma, num2. Very easy, huh? I am using that end, but this time the whole thing is done. I have considered about when the number 1 is greater than number 2. I have considered about when the number 1 is less than number 2, and also I have considered when the number 1 is equal to number 2, which means my process is over. So I'm like, that's it, semicolon. And to hold the answer, hold the output, I'm taking a read ln semicolon, and that's end dot. Fortunate, the board is enough. Yeah. So recap of what we did. We have program if else, and we are using user CRT to get the permission to use the keyboard for the user, and var says we are declaring variables. So you have two variables in line, num1 and num2, both are in real format, because we are giving the capability for the user to use decimal values. And next thing is I am starting the code by begin, and you're prompting with the right ln for the user to enter the first number, and you're holding that value in num1. And next thing you're doing is using a right ln, you're prompting the user to enter the second number, and now you're holding that value using read ln in num2. And you're declaring an if because you have three decisions to make, and in the first decision as a comparison I'm using the comparison operators, and I'm like num1 is greater than num2. So this time num1 should be the greater value, so I am starting then, and I am taking a begin and end to declare a sub method, and right there right ln I have used to say num1 is greater than num2. And in the second option, without ending this end with a semicolon, I am advanced into the second option using else and taking another if. I am like num1 is less than num2. And right here the prompt should be num1 is less than num2. That's what I have done after then in between this begin and this end. So I'm not done yet, I am taking else, but this time I don't have any more decisions to make. So without taking any if, I'm saying begin and right ln num1 is equal to num2, because if both these conditions are not satisfied, which means these guys should be equal. So by default you can say num1 is equal to num2. That's it. So you are ending the if statement by end semicolon, and you are holding the program by read ln semicolon, and you are ending the program by end dot. That's it. Easy? Perfect. Let's write it.